is the reason I got into car sales was because I think it would be an easy way to make money. That's what I thought. Because you look at a car and I can spin £1,000 profit off that, and you just, like you say, you just multiply that. We'll just get busier, and you think it's really easy, and maybe you just don't. It's hard to convince yourself that that's not the case when you want to scale it. If you want to do a few off your driveway, yeah, that's great. But
can you imagine all these old boys that lived in the time when there was no Consumer Rights Act, there was no website telling people what cars were worth. There was
no MOT mileage record. So if you just got rid of the service history and whatever, then there was no record. They'd have to drill out.
Exactly. Yeah, you boys had it away. You should, like you said earlier, you should have been doing 500 cars a month, didn't you? Really? But obviously, I guess there wasn't the opportunity to sell nationwide and all that kind of stuff, was there?
You just described me dad and his friends.
Yeah,
that was in the motor trade. He's like a,
and it's those buggers that have got the reputation that we now automatically get for selling cars.
Well, I was just about to say he's like an Arthur Daly type, very old school,
Yeah.
But obviously, it's a lot different now that he wouldn't be able to survive probably now.
I was just thinking about it. You don't really see entrepreneurs going, what we're going to get into. We're going to get into a car dealership. It's not tends to be the path they go, is it? I think most of us have followed family or friends into it.
Yeah. I mean, unless you think you're going to be like a disruptor and you're going to do something different, which is what I was about to say. I think the way to make money is to do it. You've got to come up with a way of doing this same job, but do it differently. Like Stephen did when he started doing, the early days of, well, wouldn't have been Meta, it would have been Facebook advertising. It was ridiculously cheap. Car dealers aren't doing that because they just want to chuck it on Auto Trader. It's costing them thousands and thousands, but that's where you can make money, isn't it? Trying to advertise somewhere else, trying to provide the money in a different way.
This is what I think the disruptor is, though. And I was having this conversation with Stephen before we started. I think the disruptor is people in businesses not paying anyone for marketing and doing it all for free on social media platforms. I was saying, get yourself on TikTok, video your deals as you sort deals out for people that were struggling elsewhere. Get it done. Get someone recording the cars as they come in. Unless someone comes along and really does do a good job of displacing people like Auto Trader, and at the end of the day, I don't think anybody really can. I imagine they would come on and tell us their overheads are massive as well. But I think it's getting basically the only opportunity I can see at the moment is free marketing, which is pretty much what we all do with our YouTube channels, isn't it? It creates us sales, it creates us stock, and it's free because we actually get paid for putting the videos out by the YouTube as well.
Do you know what? It dawned on me yesterday. Yesterday. I'd put a query in, like, I want to drop my Auto Trader package. So we pay for like 30 plus or whatever it is. And I was like, I just want 10, or I want the base package basically. So I've still got the data and all that sort of stuff, but I'm just going to advertise other ways. So paying that saving those 20 cars is about $2,500. I can spend a month, and I can spend 300 quid on car gurus, which everyone's saying they're actually doing quite good now. So we'll try that. But I'm also going to do more of like the social media type stuff, spending a bit of money on Meta. It takes some commitment, and it's not as easy as just putting your car on Auto Trader.
I think if I had your business model, in all honesty, for if you're taking $2,500 spend out of Facebook, out of Auto Trader, and you're going to put a few hundred quid into car gurus, and then what into Facebook? Would you think? How much do you reckon?
I don't mind putting the same amount of money back in. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you'll not even scratch the surface with anything, mate. I think it'll be difficult. Honestly.
You've got to put such. The only thing with ads is you've got to put such a lump in to work out. Even before you work out what ads are going to work, you're sprogging a lot of cash first, aren't you?
You're testing all the time. You're constantly testing what gets the best click-through rates, and what converts and what doesn't. And just that budget, I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't think it's enough.
No, I agree. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, what I was trying to think is I spend a lot of money on marketing, really, and I feel like if there's anyone that doesn't need marketing, or me and James, I spend like $5,000 a month on Auto Trader, and they might get, let's say, 150, 200,000 advert views. I don't really know, but let's just say it's that figure. But if I'm getting 1.5 million views on YouTube per month, and I can try and use some of that, and do you know what I find is we track where everyone finds the car, so we've got quite a high percentage that's website. So we assume that that's probably they've found us through social media or something else or whatever. But there are Auto Trader ones as well. But then we'll find the ones that are Auto Trader. They'll sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, I saw you on YouTube first, and that's why I came." That's what's not really an auto trade. They've had a bloody easy ride there. That's just where they've searched for the car to find us.
You know what I would do if I was you, because I'm forgetting you've got this huge YouTube following. I think you're in a great position, me. What I would do if I was you, your YouTube, there'll be a way. I've never done it, but I'm assuming there'll be a way to get the all your viewers from YouTube remarketed to on Facebook. So you're providing all the value that you provide already on YouTube to all your audience, and then you're going to take that audience, you're going to put that audience into Facebook, and then you're going to sell to that audience because you've already provided all the value at the front end on YouTube.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
build up all this trust, all this the transparency of who you are. People like you, and I think you. Yeah, actually, I think you're in a really good position. I
see what you're saying. Don't start advertising to random people on Facebook. Start advertising to the audience you've already got.
That you've built, and I think if you make a couple of really slick videos, like punchy to the point, 30 seconds or less, because people's attention spans, that's what they're like.
Yeah, tiny. Yeah,
and make the first 3 seconds, like hit you in the face, so people stay and watch them. I think you'll have a good return from using the audience that you've already got.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that you guys, as in Stephen, you know this stuff, so you know what you can do with data and whatever, and I don't. And then I'll speak to someone who's in marketing or whatever, and they're like, well, you can get that information, you can take it back, or you can take information from a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, and you can market, you can pay. I don't know how you do it, but you go on Facebook and you can pay, like, I want to advertise to those mobile numbers. That's it. And it will advertise to those people. You can really kind of narrow it down that sense. And
that there's free courses on Google for your staff to go through to learn how to do all of this. And they get accreditation as they go through, so they can put that on their CV going forwards, and it's all free.
Yeah.
Joe, have you got Google Analytics? You said before that you track where your customers come from. Are you doing that at the point of sale, just asking them? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, I think for you, especially with your YouTube following, you need to install Google Analytics on your website. Google Analytics will tell you for certain where those visitors are coming from.
We're with 67 Degrees, so that, do you know what? This just shows what a dinosaur and a useless idiot I am, because they send me a report and I just don't even bother looking at it.
Oh, you need to look at it.
And I'm just
an
idiot when it comes to
Degrees will definitely, if you speak to them, they'll install Google Analytics on your website. And you need to have a Facebook pixel installed on your website as well. If you're going to do anything on Facebook, you need to have the Facebook pixel there as well. Joe, I'll tell you what. When I clear me diary up a month or so, I'll come down and see you. I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, you're on. It's a date.
It's not hard. Right.
It's important for everyone out there to get their head around this as well, isn't it? Because so many people are paying for marketing left, right, and centre. They need to be making sure that when it hits their site, they know where it's coming from. They need to see the journey someone's making through their site. Because you might not realise that. So you can look at like abandonment as well, can't you? You can see like when they get to a certain point in your form, they're bailing, or when they get to a certain page on your website, they're bailing, and you can then look at what do I need to tweak there, and these percentages can all add up, can't they? For starters, are they landing on your homepage rather than directly into the car they were looking at? That kind of thing, that can lose you a lot of conversions.
Well, I'm just looking at the report here. The problem is I can't. I'll see if I can share it, but I can't figure out how to zoom it at the minute.
Do you know if you'd had all this set up from the start as well, Joe? Like the finance deals that you do, especially. So, or I suppose any customer that you've sold a car to, realistically, customers hold on to cars for 2 to 2.5 years. You could be remarketing to those customers specifically, that very small selection of customers that you've got the data on, and just create a video.
Is it time for a new car, sort of thing?
Yeah, and it works. It works, mate.
Yeah, well, this is the thing I was going to ask you as well. Again, it's just areas that I am terrible in, like sort of like dead leads, like really cold leads that have gone cold, and some people say you need to go through those, and I've always been like, oh no, it's been a week, they're not going to be interested, they'll have found something else. But if I ever get the team to go through it, and we'll get a deal out of one or two of them, and you're like, bloody hell, that was a deal that was just completely dead in the water, and just because we phoned them up and got a conversation going again, they're like, oh yeah, we were interested in that car. And you would have thought after a week they've given up and they've bought something else. But actually they're still like, oh yeah, I've been busy and whatever. And like, okay, cool, yeah, well, when can I book a viewing? Get the viewing done and you sell a car. And it blows my mind.